This man's entire life was being broadcast to the world, and he was starting to catch on. He got in his car to escape, but the moment he reached the outskirts of town, a sign warned of an imminent volcanic eruption. Sure enough, a wall of fire appeared ahead, but he floored it and drove straight through. Moments later, another sign warned of a nuclear leak at a factory. Police ordered everyone to turn back, but the last thing one of the officers said was Truman's name. Truman spotted the slip, jumped out of the car, and ran. There was no nuclear leak, but he barely made it a few steps before a group of people tackled him and pinned him down. They dragged him back home. His wife said he was mentally unstable and needed treatment. That's when Truman finally realized she was in on it too. In the middle of their argument, his wife suddenly spoke directly to a hidden camera, asking for some kind of intervention, and right on cue, his best friend showed up. His friend took him to the beach and comforted him, and Truman was genuinely moved. What he didn't know was that every word had been fed to his friend by the director, all to talk him out of leaving. The director even arranged for Truman's father to reappear, claiming he'd had amnesia all these years, which was why he never came back. The next day, Truman seemed back to normal. He went outside, greeted his neighbors, and drove to work just like always. But that night, he stayed in bed for over 10 hours without getting up. The director sensed something was off and sent the friend to check on him. Under the covers was just a dummy, and a radio nearby was playing the sound of snoring. The town launched a full-scale search, even bringing up the artificial sun early, but Truman was nowhere to be found. Then they pulled up the footage from cameras over the water. Truman was sailing away on a small boat. The director immediately conjured up a violent storm to stop him. Lightning struck the boat, and Truman was thrown into the sea, but he refused to give up. He tied himself to the mast and screamed into the howling wind. The director ordered his crew to intensify the storm, but Truman wouldn't break. Wave after wave crashed over him, tossing the boat back and forth until it finally capsized and sank beneath the surface, taking Truman with it. At last, the director called it off. The clouds parted, and Truman and his boat were spared. Barely breathing, Truman raised the sail and kept going. He didn't know how long he'd been sailing when the boat suddenly hit something. He reached out and touched it. A wall. He had reached the edge. Nearby, he found a staircase and climbed it. At the top was a door. Just as he stood before it, a voice boomed from above. It was the creator of Truman's World, the director of the show. He warned Truman that the outside world was far less safe and happy than the one he'd built for him. He begged Truman to stay. Truman turned and said the same words he'd spoken every day of his life. In case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. And without looking back, he walked through the door and left that fabricated world behind.